Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Cooking for the Health of It. We're a whole food plant-based cooking show and live class. Got another full class today. Thank you all for coming. I'm Karen.
My name's Rich.
What are we making today, Rich?
Well, we're making a potato dish, and then you've got a Dole whip dessert, which looks kind of interesting.
It's delicious. And if you follow through, if you're watching this on YouTube, you go all the way to the end of the show, and the recipe will be featured at the end of that. And you'll get both the recipes, and we'll talk about the amounts as we put it into. We're feeding a lot more people than what the recipes call for, so we're only going to tell you the recipe that the amounts are in there. That way, if someone's writing it down, you all have recipes though, right? Everybody has a recipe in class? Okay, so I guess we'll start with potatoes we already cooked, right?
Right. We cut them up. You want to make sure when you cut them, they're approximately the same size, because in a cook evenly. If you have big chunks of potato along the small ones, you'll get some that aren't finished. So we've got that to start with. We're going to bring that out.
And sometimes we just use we bought baby potatoes, but sometimes baby potatoes aren't really so baby. So if they're really little, you don't have to cut them, but we did have to cut them because they were kind of large. Okay, so while he's bringing that out, this is such a simple recipe, and we're creating a nice meal for you. We'll have peas around it. You can create anything you want. You can do any side dish. But the potatoes, all you do after you cut them, we added the olive oil, a couple tablespoons for this amount. We added some pink Himalayan sea salt. Remember we talked about sea salt or the, what was that, or the Richmond's red real salt. And then we have garlic pieces, right? We have chunked garlic you put in there too. Mm-hmm. Chopped up garlic, and then it calls for a little bit of ground pepper and salt, and you can add some more garlic powder if you choose, depending on, remember, this is easy. However you want to flavor your food is what you like, is what you put in there. So this is so simple. What we're going to do is just plate up some potatoes. On top of that goes a little bit, are they stuck?
Oh, they're okay.
We're putting a little bit of spinach that we just, what did we do to the spinach? We just kind of lightly blanched it, I guess you could say. So you put the fresh spinach in a pan, and I'm going to grab that now. Behind you.
We'll get this out of the way. This is hot.
Okay. Blanched it, I think. Is that the word I used? Not sure what we did. We just added a little tiny bit of water, and the spinach is still living. We didn't take all the enzymes out of it. You don't want to cook it to death. When you overcook living vegetables, that's what you're doing, is removing the enzymes. So you don't want to do that with your greens, especially, and your broccoli. You want to keep a little crunch to it. So he's putting just a little bit of spinach on it. And then next comes the treat. What we're going to do with that is blend it. We're going to use the blender twice today, because for the Dole Whip, that's also called for. Do we have a lid for this? So you know our old handy blender, that's one of the biggest tools in your kitchen for a whole food plant-based kitchen. Very important, right, Steve? Can't be without a blender. All right, so what's going in this sauce? Rick, What are we putting in here?
Well, you've got the tahini.
Okay, I'm going to give this all to you. He gets sidetracked on plating things up. He makes plates very pretty. And remember what tahini is. Tahini is just ground up sesame seeds. So again, you could use peanut butter here, you could use cashew butter, but ground up sesame seeds is very high in minerals, very high in nutrients, high in essential fatty acids. You're getting the good fats in here, not the trans fats or the animal fats. So it's very good for brain health. It's good for myelin sheath around your nervous system. After that, we have my favorite, nutritional yeast. Everybody remembers what that is, right? That's very high in B12. It gives it a real cheesy flavor. Next going in, we have, I believe, is ginger, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to get a little Asian flair going here. Going to have that good taste of it. And half teaspoon of ginger. We're putting in maple syrup. So that's going to give it the little sweet, sour taste that we like.
Is that dried ginger?
You can use either one. Okay. This is dried ginger, but you can also use ground ginger if you have fresh ginger. And then in is going a little bit of toasted sesame oil, and that gives it that nutty flavor, that really delicious taste. Then we're going to put a little bit of sea salt in it. And then what we're going to do is just add a little bit of water at a time. Start out with just 2 or 3 tablespoons of water. Maybe just put a quarter of that in. A little more maybe, so it does blend and not get too thick. So what we're going to do is take a break here for a second. We're going to blend it, and then we'll show you what we do next. There you go.
Ready?
One time he had the blender and it had hot soup in it. And the lid popped off and it got all over him. I think we got that on camera.
Okay.
Yes,
How's it look?
that looks good. See how easy this was? So simple. The prep of the potatoes you could do the night before. Just stick them in your refrigerator. So easy to be able to eat healthy. And there's really no excuse when you have the right ingredients. We have to put the sauce on it first.
Alrighty.
A little bit of sauce. Ready?
Mhm.
Okay, delicious sauce. Look at that.
Yeah.
Just going to put a tiny bit of that across the top. You can use a ladle. You can do it any way you want. We're just going to do it that way. And I'm just going to put a little peas on here. Top it with a little cilantro because remember you want to taste your food first with your vision. Because when you see something that looks delicious, it's going to taste better. Agree? Everybody agree? And remember the colors. You got some tomatoes on there. So I guess this one's ready to go. Right? And I think we'll give this one first one. We'll put it aside for the birthday boy. We have a birthday in here today. So happy birthday, Robert. And we'll put that aside. And what we're going to do is take another break. This is happening so quickly. It's just hard to believe, right? We're going to start the dessert. And remember, in whole food plant-based cooking, you can eat your dessert first because what we're making here is called the Dole Whip. Has anybody been to Disney World? Been down to Disney World? Do you remember that they had the Dole whipped cream down there? And this is where this craze started. But I was told that our daughter was there last year and she said there was a little tiny, like an 8 ounce, was $12 or $15 for a little tiny thing. But they put commercial Carnation instant milk in it. They put dairy, they put sugar. So today ours is completely healthy. There's no dairy, there's no sugar. We're using fresh frozen pineapple. Fresh frozen? Is that an oxymoron? Fresh frozen. Which is very chock full of bromelain, and that is one of the best digestive agents you can get. People go out and buy bromelain tablets and spend $20, $30 for a 20, 30 pack of them. Whereas you can just eat pineapple and you get the fresh bromelain. So it's not been man-made, it's not been reduced at all. You get the whole natural bromelain in there. So we're also adding pineapple juice to it, fresh pineapple juice, and some unsweetened almond milk. Now they do have the vanilla flavored you can get. In this one, go for it if you like it a little bit sweeter. Just make sure you're getting the one that's not highly processed and homogenized. And then we're just adding a little bit of vanilla to it. Rich, are you cleaning that blender? Thank you.
Ready?
Yep. Okay, so we're going to take another break because in the past videos this was very loud when we had the water running. All right, we have a clean blender. We're back on. Thank you for the pause that we had. And just remember, with whole food plant-based, what we're teaching is eating to live. And so often we live to eat, and we know what that means. Processed food, sugar, hydrogenated animal fats, because why? It pleases your taste buds. And what we're teaching is how to reverse dis-ease, how to let your body heal and not let those cancer cells proliferate. Doesn't mean they won't or they can't, but what you're doing is giving it the best defense you can. So we need to all be responsible for our health. And the best responsibility we can take for our health is to do what we can to maintain a body that is not weakened, that's not in a state of unwell being. All right, so I guess what we're going to do here is start putting the ingredients in. Put the liquid in first.
Alrighty.
All right, so we have the pineapple juice, and we have the soy milk. I think we're using almond milk. You can use soy milk, you can use oat milk, you can use coconut milk. Any of those rich. Sometimes you can use even that real rich coconut cream. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of that into it. If you want to get creative, you can top it with fruit. You can top it with cacao nibs. We had those last time. Remember the chai puddings and the cacao nibs? Those were delicious. So if you're not on a whole food plant base and you do choose to become healthier, just allow yourself transition. Maybe do meatless Mondays. Maybe just do meat 3 times a week. Just really begin to be conscious of cutting out what's causing your ill health. And if you look at what you're eating, what do we have next there?
Vanilla.
That's vanilla, okay. It's a lot more because we're feeding a whole bunch of people today. So the vanilla, and that's pretty much what's going in there, right? And then you're going to put the frozen pineapple in. So in teaching 40 years in my clinic, I was a I am a naturopathic doctor and a master herbalist, so I've had a clinic that I've seen many patients over the years. And one of the things I do for everyone that comes in, a couple of patients are in here today. Any patients from way back? Steve's one, a couple of you, Sandy, yep, Kim. So all of you can vouch for the fact that one of the first things I do is find out, what are you eating? Why do you have arthritis? Why do you have diabetes, type 1, type 2? Why do you have these cells that are proliferating and being unhealthy? So we look at your diet, number one, and 100% of the time, without a doubt, I get people transitioned over to a whole food plant-based diet, correct? And how's it working for you?
Great.
Yeah, a lot of changes, a lot of health changes that are made when people...
Try not to splash.
Okay, back up, back up. We know that splashes. We do this at home all the time. Anyway, a lot of pineapple is going into your... It's going to be kind of thick, as you can see on your recipe. It's such a delicious, easy to make snack for yourself. Also, don't forget that we are filming this for YouTube. If you want to find the YouTubes, go to Grace Learning Center. Cooking for the Health of It is the name of our cooking show. And is that 6 cups after that? Oh, he's going to break it down. He's going to smash it. A lot of noises we do here in the kitchen. But it's called Cooking for the Health of It, and you'll be able to see all the old archives that's on there. And we have classes that go way back from, when did we start? Drew, do you remember when we started? January? Oh no, October last year. We started October last year. So if you want to attend a live cooking show, space is limited, people sign up, and it fills up very quickly. But call the Grace Learning Center, 219-879-6788. Ask for Bill or Liz and reserve your seat. And we do start promptly at 9 o'clock, so if you're not here, the doors will be closed, so you will not get in if you're not here at 9 o'clock. But again, if you want to change your life, don't procrastinate. Just do it. Start today. Start right now. Right now is the time to start. So many of us, it's not a diet at all. It's not like you're going to deprive yourself of anything. You're going to emerge into a new being. Cells change all the time in our body. So if you're giving what our body needs to live on and operate, then these new cell changeovers is going to anti-age you. It's going to cause you better health. Instead of diseased arteries, as you're giving your body better food, your arteries are going to regrow new cells and they're going to become healthier. Again, a lot of testimonies, thousands of them over the years of my clinic, and many in here today. That's just in today's class. Ready to make some noise, are we?
Oh, I hope so.
So again, another way to do it is just cut out junk food. Tell yourself, I'm not going to do any junk food on weekends. There has to be a place to start. If you're a smoker and you really want to quit smoking for the health of it, or for your family that's bugging you all the time, you have to start somewhere. So the best place to start is right now. Do it gradually or just dive into it. I know so many people that has just dove right into it, and been many years. All right, we're taking another break. Making some noise. Oh yeah. And you know what, I would do this at home. I'm not gonna do it here, but I would definitely enjoy this with a spoon or just eat it off there.
Ready?
Yep, we need a big spoon to start serving it. Like that. Rather have it in a bowl, right? Look at that. You can make it thicker if you choose. You can make it thinner if you choose. Just yummy. How's this mirror working for everybody? This is our first time having it.
I love it.
Okay, good. Good report. Glad to hear that.
It's nice to see
Okay.
on top of what you're doing.
Okay, good.
It's nice to see.
Glad that it's working as it's meant to. So what we're doing, now if you want to get fancy like your recipe shows, you can certainly put it in a bag. It'd have to be a little bit thicker than this. And this is our Dole Whip. And we're
So how
gonna
much do we get thicker?
just put more frozen fruit in it.
More frozen fruit. Okay.
Now another thing I like to do when making this, sometimes you can take some of your berries,
Okay.
take half of this out and then put some berries in it, and you can have a layer of your fruit. Or you can use any fruit. We're just calling this Dole Whip because that's just one of the most popular ones that people can identify with. So what we're doing here is just the pineapple whip. And who is going to be our first taste tester on this?
Rob.
Can you pass that back to Rob? It's his
So
birthday.
You're going to use strawberries, Karen?
Yeah, you can use strawberries.
You would use the frozen strawberries? and
Use the same
fruit
amount of
too.
frozen fruit and just switch it to strawberries.
Strawberry juice? What would you use
Oh,
for juice?
You could use orange juice. You could use pineapple juice.
You could
Just,
use
I would probably use the same base, just switch out the fruit.
Just, okay,
Yeah.
just switch up the frozen fruit, okay. Alright.
Okay, we got the approval. He says it's excellent. All right, so what we're going to do is just talk a little bit more, and I just want to ask any questions. Anybody wish they had better energy? Wish you slept better at night? Wish you had better health? Do you wish you really just wanted to get up and go when it's time to get up? Anybody in here wish they had all that? Everybody's shaking their head yes. Well, guess what? This is the answer. You can start today. Don't delay. Truly, the best wealth is your health. There's no better wealth than your health. We've talked about this many times. You can have a mansion. You can drive the best cars. If you don't have your health, you've lost your joy. So bring it back. You can reverse bad health, but you have to take the responsibility. No one's going to do it for you. You can go to the doctor, you can get your medicines, you can come see me, well, I'm retired, but I mean, when people did come and see me, I can't be the one to make the change for you. You have, phones start ringing as I go home. Anyway, you have to be the one to make the choice, and no one's going to do it for you. Again, like I was starting to say, I can lead you, I can guide you, I can direct you. And I've done that with so many people. It wasn't me that did anything. It was the person that made the choice that did it. So that just makes me so happy, all of the testimonies I've had over the years. And they still come in when I see people on the streets they'll run up to me and say, oh, I seen you 10 years ago and this is what you did for me. It's like, well, thank you for giving me that credit. I didn't do it. I just gave you the information. You did it. And so that's what you can all do today. You can make changes. You can make little changes. You can make huge changes. It's all up to you. And it feels really good to feel good. I tell you, when I'm not eating the way I know I should be, I don't have enough live foods in my diet, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. But when I eat living foods, and I have remember the green smoothie we did that has the greens up to here, and it's the hyper-nourishment, that's still on a YouTube if anybody wants to go back to that one. I drink that every day, and I've been working in the garden 6-8 hours a day, and I'm just like an Energizer bunny. I'm sore, but I still have the energy to do it. And I just want to tell you, you can have the same. So I guess that's all, unless anybody has any questions. Any questions today? Thank you. Appreciate your help. All right, everybody. God bless.
God bless. See you next time.
Next time, which is 2 weeks from today.